and throw up that stuff. They didn't want to hear anything I had to say. So, see, what it is that I have been listening to God tell me this stuff. And I just don't walk away from God. And maybe they didn't have a master. Like, see, I've been with Meher Baba since I'm 15. And they didn't have a master to tell them to stick with God. But I really have stuck with God. And another time I tested to drink the water in a stream and I got giardia.
Oh.
And I was like, had like this uncontrollable diarrhea. And I did the same thing. I tested a whole bunch of tinctures and cured it in 20 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, I was fine. I went and led my meeting and I was fine after that. But I kept taking the tinctures for about another 6 days. Still, a lesser person would have just said, oh, I can't test. I tested to drink the water and it made me sick, so I'm not gonna test anymore. People quit doing this because of stuff like that. And it made me stronger.
Well, I think what happens is people forget. So if they had a success, then they'll forget what the success was when something goes wrong.
Right. Well, I realized when I drank that water, when I got sick from drinking that water, I just said God played a joke on me. God, it's just that simple. God has a sense of humor. I'm a dumb idiot for having tested that in the first place, and I got what I deserved, and that was it. That was that.
That's true. I could see that.
Now here's one that you said you got a lot from. It's the Accelerator.
Yes.
Okay, so I want to ask you some of these questions. This is the preview page.
Okay.
See? And I don't know if have you ever done the preview page for this?
I always do the preview pages because it says to do the preview pages before the lesson.
You're a smart person. You're actually a consummate student, I guess. This is good. A lot of these consummate students get so mired down in the bullshit of the schools they go to that they don't realize they can cure anything and they never do IMMUNICS.
This is true.
But if they bring their studying skills to this, they do very well, like you did. Okay, is speed a critical factor in ending disease? Test that.
I don't know if that's a soft yes or a no. I got a little, it felt like a little something, but it wasn't strong.
Okay, well, test this. Can it ever be impossible to cure something without acting with, a huge amount of speed?
I didn't get anything there.
Okay, so obviously it's always possible to cure things according to that test anyway, even if you... is it ever possible to simply be too slow and fail to cure something?
Yes.
See, that's another way of asking that question. See, one thing again I would say again is change the question, ask it different ways, and you'll get... probably all those answers are probably good. And if you put them all together, you get a good perspective on the Accelerator.
Okay.
And also, these are not the questions on the Accelerator page. These are questions that were inspired by the questions on the Accelerator page.
Oh, okay.
So, there's other questions on the Accelerator page, and you ought to test those too. Here's a question. Can I slow down? Can I go slowly with curing my disease and still be safe?
I don't get an answer on that one. Or I get a no on that one, I should say.
Okay, so that's a no. Okay, so you really do have to, you got to hustle. Okay, Good. And now, of course, we'll go to the accelerator. And the accelerator is a different kind of, it's a different kind of skill. And I'm just showing this to everybody because they, you know, you've done this, the accelerator. But the accelerator seems very short. But it's the skill that you spend the most time on. There are very few lessons in it. One of them is called Do Nothing. And another one is called Fatigues. Those are very important lessons. And then here's what most people use is the short form of the accelerator. Everybody should start with the long form and then use the short form. What did you get when you tested that?
No, I'm not. Like right now.
Now see, that's Greg and me doing a lesson on the accelerator. So there's a movie on this page.
Right.
And now, test this question. Have I cured anything since I've been talking to Bayer? We'll just do an accelerator.
Yes.
Okay. More than one thing.
Yes.
Test and give me a number. Or just a number over which. Like you could do that too.
Okay. I get a 6.
Okay, so you've cured 6 things since we've been talking. Now, have you ever reported your cures in the cure poll?
No.
Well, that is where the tally comes from. It comes from you and people like you reporting your cures. So please report your cures, and when we get off the phone, report 6 cures in the cure poll, okay?
Okay.
All right. So now that we've done that, okay, so now you've cured some things, so does anything feel like it's gone? Like, is there a difference? What's missing? What's gone?
Well, I can say that normally I have a lot of agitation in my feet.
Yeah.
And it's quieter.
Okay. Good.
And I'm more relaxed. I was relaxed before, but I'm even more relaxed now.
Good. Okay. So there's some tension is gone.
Yes.
What else? Can you see anything else or feel anything else that seems to be missing?
I feel clearer. More clear-headed.
Good. Anything else?
I can't think of anything else.
So like you're feeling around in yourself and you don't feel anything else that seems to be absent. Okay.
No, just the agitation in my feet is reduced.
That's probably an important symptom of MS, right?
Well, it depends on the person. MS, there's so many different symptoms, so many things come up.
Yeah, really.
So I get sores on my feet, and actually I have sores on my feet right now.
Mm-hmm.
So there's an immune response down there for some reason, and the doctors don't know what it is. They call it vasculitis for lack of a better name.
Okay, have you ever thought of checking, let's say, your gravitational body for vasculitis?
No, I've never thought of that.
Okay, you should be doing that. And can you feel your gravitational body?
I've actually used my gravitational body.
Okay, well, if you can feel it, then what you should do is scan through it and try to find the areas of your gravitational body that correspond with your feet in your physical body, and look through those areas for anything that looks abnormal.
Okay.
Codes, or anything that might be causing that. I'll tell you another story. I was having a course when I first started teaching this. It was years ago. This would be 1993 or maybe 4, and I had a bunch of people to my home in Philadelphia doing a course for 5 or 6 days, and we were just going into the course room for another section of the course, and one of the students came over to me, and she said to me that she had been reading my gravitational body, and I had something in my gravitational body that was causing deterioration in my gums, in my mouth. And it was, and she put her finger, and she put her finger right between 2 of my teeth. And she said, it's right between these 2 teeth that you have deterioration, and that's caused by, if you check your gravitational body, there's like a little, it looks like a little metal sliver in there, and you can feel that, the corresponding thing in your gum, And she put her finger on the exact place where my dentist had pointed this to the same spot, and he had X-rayed me, from when I had my dental X-rays, and he said, you see right here, you have like an infection, and bacteria are eating your bone.
Oh wow!
So he said your bone is deteriorating. And I could feel that. Some days it was worse than others, and I kept brushing it and doing stuff that helped it and everything. I was just like amazed that she had taken such an interest in me, for one thing. And also, that she was a pretty good student, I thought, to be able to do this. Anyway, but I said, okay, great. And I went into my gravitational body and I erased this. I found that sliver and I erased it. And my mouth immediately felt better. And then I kept, after a time I learned that if I ever felt anything in that spot, I would just check my gravitational body, because my gravitational body kept getting that sliver back. And over the years, I found it a bunch of times. So, but basically I saved my bone, and my teeth didn't fall out, and I'm okay, because I never allowed it to progress. I would always catch it within a few minutes when it started up, and kill it. I just killed it. That's what I was doing. And of course it was that whatever it was that thing was, it was compromising my immune system in that particular spot, and that's how those bacteria got a foothold in there. You see that?
Okay.
So, because your mouth is supposed to fight them off. Like, have you ever noticed that the bacteria, the amount of bacteria in your mouth change depending on the balance of calcium and magnesium in your saliva?
Yes.
Well, that's right. It's because your immune system, that's how your immune system works. It uses minerals and fights off these infections.
Right.
Anyway, also I brush with Dr. Bronner's.
Okay.
I had a dentist who used to put your plaque on a slide, and he'd show you your bacteria. And
okay.
I was the only patient he ever had that got my bacteria count to absolute 0.
Wow.
There wasn't
That's impressive.
I know, there wasn't a single microbe in there. It was amazing. I was like blown away myself. But I can't take a bit of credit for it. It was really Dr. Bronner that did it,
Okay.
He's a great man. He's dead now, but he's a very great man.
So why is it the gravitational body that to check? Oh.
It isn't always. Sometimes it's the spiral body. I had a little tea and it went down the wrong way. Sorry.
Okay.
Anyway, sometimes it's the spiral body.
Okay.
You know, being on Skype with you is like being in the room with you to me, except unfortunately,
Really?
yeah, but unfortunately you can't slap me on the back if I start choking, you know.
I know. Well, the fact that you're coughing is a good thing. I also have taken CPR, so I know.
That's right.
But I can't do it over Skype.
Right. Well, now, okay, so that's what's missing, and so now, can you tell me, are there any responses, good responses that now feel easier to you now that you've cured those things?
Good responses? I'm not sure what you mean.
Well, you know, there's good responses and bad responses, right?
Yes.
Well, have you got some good responses that are now easy? That you can see are good and that feel like responses you've been wanting to make, but that you weren't, but now you can.
I can't think of any right now.
Okay, how about some new behaviors that you can construct now that you've cured these things? Are there any new behaviors that seem like you can construct them? Good new behaviors, or behaviors you've been trying to construct that seem easier to construct now?
I think that I probably can take charge of a project better than I could before. Before I was kind of skittish on taking charge. I just wanted to be the conduit between groups, and I think I can actually take over the whole thing and work with people that way.
So you mean, is that a result of, you know, all the IMMUNICS you've done in the last 9 months, or what you've done tonight, or?
I think it's what I've done tonight, because
okay.
I still was skittish 3 months ago.
So this is very fast. That's the thing that we want to stress. And the problem is people don't notice the results. That's really where the problem comes in.
That's probably from lack of asking questions and sitting back and reflecting, like the Accelerator suggests. You have to stop, stay in the calm, clear place, and just be there. And I think people don't know how to be there. They're too busy going to the next thing.
Tested that. Right.
Like right now, no.
But precisely, yes. That's right. But maybe since that movie was interfering with you, you could say it again, just so everybody hears it real clearly.
Okay. I was saying that the Accelerator says that we should be in the calm, clear place and just be there. And that's what we're supposed to do. But people have a tendency to get to one place and then jump. They're in such a rush to get to the next place. They don't know or experience what they're supposed to experience.
Yeah, so they're going too fast.
Right. They're too much in a hurry to do the next thing.
Yeah,
they need to stop.
Yeah, the funny thing about the Accelerator is basically what the Accelerator does is it slows you down so that you go faster.
Right.
You know, I was
Which
just
is kind of counterintuitive.
Yeah, you know, I was just talking to a woman, an old friend of mine named Victoria Shue. And she has made a series of terrible mistakes in her life and is now, you know, just really backed into a corner. You know, I haven't talked to her for probably 6 years at least, maybe 8 years, something like that. And she was able to do this. She was doing this 8 years ago, and she just veered off in the wrong direction. And it was because she was very sure of herself, and she just made these decisions without curing anything or removing anything or testing anything, and she just went ahead and did this stuff, and now she's sorry. But the bottom line is, when I was talking to her, now she realizes what she did. And what she needed to do, it's like, basically the accelerator is sort of like you cure something and you feel better and you feel like, oh boy, I can do it now, you know, this is great, I'm okay now, you know, and I can do this, I'm great. And so you're ready to go running off, and the accelerator says, whoa, slow down. Wait a cotton picking minute here, Buster. Now let's just talk about this a minute. Let's test a bunch of questions, you know, and then let's cure another thing and test some more questions, and so on. And as you do that, what you do is you just eliminate all, you know, like, oh, you take all those things that you thought you could do, and you say, oh, I knew I could do that. I cured something and I felt better and I knew I could do that now. And you just don't do it. You don't do, you know, you drop the thing you were going to do, and then you drop the next thing, and you drop the next thing, and it's sort of like you just leapfrog over everything. And you get to some point way down the line where you wanted to go, and you get there by doing nothing.
Right.
Like, it's what you don't do that gets you to the right place in your life. Like, I'm at a good place in my life, you know, and it's because of all the stuff I didn't do.
Okay.
I mean, it's that simple, you know, all the things I passed up and said no to.
that happens a lot, especially these days.
Yeah, and
where you're getting all these offers to do things.
Yeah, and all the things I didn't get involved with and didn't pay any attention to and didn't waste my time with and just said no to and eliminated from my life. You know, all the things I used to do that I liked to do that I stopped doing. Like, oh, for example, I haven't gone to the movies in about 4 years. I watch movies on my big screen TV.
Okay.
And I used to like to go to the beach, but I stopped liking to go to the beach, so I don't go anymore. I have a wonderful wildlife area here, and it's got sand. It's a lot like the beach.
Okay, that'll work.
I mean, the whole state of Florida is sand, so you know, that's what we got.
You can bring some up this way.
Yeah, really. We call it candy sand because good stuff grows in it. Okay, so now, are there some things that could interfere with my newfound clarity and my like the feeling of wellness that you have right now? Just test her. There's some things in my life, or tendencies, immune dysfunctions I've been running that can interfere with this.
Yes.
And can you say any of them? Can you see what any of them are?
That negative beingness is coming back.
Good. Okay. Very good. What did you get when you tested? Very excellent. So I'll tell you what. Do the lessons on negative beingness.
Okay.
And also keep testing for more things that could interfere or just cause you to veer into the wrong direction.
Okay.
So this has been a really good lesson about the accelerator and the safety web, and I'm expecting to meet with you again soon and, you know, go on to something more advanced. But work on these for a while, you know, work on these for a few days and stay in touch with me.
I will.
And let me know how you're doing, okay?
Okay.
Area code 813-672-3419.